Hey everybody, I'm Chris Fafalius, and I'm the producer of Krista Makes a Podcast and the host of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
And I'm Matt Kelly, host of Horror Movie Night and the producer / the head of content for the Geekscape Podcasting Network.
Between the two of us, we have, believe it or not, 25 years of podcasting experience, and we want to help you start your own podcast.
We know podcasting, and we want to share that knowledge with you.
So whether you're new to podcasting or you want some feedback on your currently active podcast, we want to help.
Or perhaps you're just overwhelmed with all of the editing work. Well, we can help you with that also.
You can check out our website at weknowpodcasting.com for more information.
We're excited to help your podcasting dreams become a reality. And welcome to another episode of Horror Movie Night. This week we are talking about Mars Attack ACK from 1996 as picked by me.
I hate you so much.
Now, to many people, this is the beginning of the end for Tim Burton. I disagree. I think that this was a delightful little stop in his career, and his true failings didn't start until 2001 when he did Planet of the Apes. That was the first time he let me down ever. Mars Attacks, the star-studded cast, most of them only in the movie for about 2 minutes apiece. But
that's called making a movie on a budget.
We'll get into it. There's some fun facts that I found about this movie while doing a little bit of research. Scott, you've already made your opinions of this known to me multiple times in text messages and phone calls.
Oh, but the thing
Brian,
is that no one knows except for you. So let me say in no uncertain terms that this movie fucking blows.
And Brian, where do you land on this, Mr. Eyeroll?
I think that is very harsh. I don't think it's a bad movie at all.
No, this is the worst movie that Matt has ever picked for the show.
Did you watch the wrong movie?
Yeah, I'm confused.
This movie is unwatchable. It is the most annoying shit you've ever picked. What comes even close to being as bad as this? Brian, Matt, you don't get to answer that. Brian, what comes even close to this? There's no entertainment value to this. It is literally someone's digital diarrhea on a screen, and someone paid for it.
You sound a lot like the guy who hates the Beatles right now. The only complaint I have with this movie is it puts me in a weird place because I think that the world is very mean to Sarah Jessica Parker, and I think that she is the worst part of this movie. So, I want to stick up for her, but she really sucks in this movie.
At all, dude. She's fine.
Who is?
Jack
if you
Nicholson.
say Tom Jones, I will
3
snap.
times. 3 different Jack Nicholsons that are awful.
Oh, dude, I love the Jack Nicholson.
You know what's crazy? As I was watching this, I was like, man, Jack Nicholson is like Nicolas Cage if he could act. Unhinged but talented. You know?
He's not. I would say that he has more talent than Nick Cage, but he also has no sense of humor. And so every line sucks in this movie.
See, I love Jack Nicholson in his dual roles in this movie. And when he plays the character of Art, I was like, man, he is channeling Cowboy Beetlejuice so hard for this character. And then I read that the reason he played that character was that they wanted Michael Keaton to play that character, and Michael Keaton couldn't do it. And Jack Nicholson was like, I can do a Michael Keaton impression.
Listen, I was thinking something different, but I get that because I was thinking this movie came out in 96.
Yes.
It probably took about 3 years. It probably started shooting about 3 years earlier. And I feel like Jack Nicholson was like, I'm going to go to the movies. I don't want to see anything with my friends. What's this movie, Freaked? And he's just sitting there and he's like, I could play that role.
Well, the other thing, and I like this movie. I would have loved this movie if Tim Burton had gotten his way, which was that he wanted this to be a collaboration with the guy who did Nightmare Before Christmas and have all of the alien stuff be fully stop motion.
Now, that would have saved about 33.3% of this movie.
Because the studio
right?
was just like, we're not spending that money on stop motion. You're
But then they
using
spent all that money on CGI. Like, they still spent a fuckload of money on CGI because this movie is 60% CGI. I know I'm going to do a lot of percents this episode, just, as
That's
an
fine.
FYI.
But as far as like the aliens themselves are like the least shitty part of the CGI.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Well, because they still use practicals at points. Like there is the practical body during the autopsy scene. Like I actually like the look of the aliens, which I don't think is anything crazy because I'm pretty sure this is how they looked on the trading cards that it's based on. So they just were like, yeah, we're just going to do these trading card designs. But there are parts where I'm just like, man, this could have been like the one that jumps to mind for me is like, when the kid is being chased by the giant robot, I'm like, yo, if this was like a stop motion robot chasing him, this scene would work for me. But the CG in that scene particularly does not look good, does not hold up at all.
I need you to do something for me right now. I need you to tell me why you like this movie, because I cannot I know you better than anyone else in the world.
Sorry, Megan.
No. I mean, I know you better than anyone else in the world. I'm not saying I know you better than anyone else in the world. I'm saying it's you pointed at you, not you pointed at me. I don't whatever. You get it.
Gotcha. That's very confusing. I'm leaving it all in. And...
let them decide.
Yeah, listeners can let us know how they interpreted that whole conversation. For me, it's like, so there's a lot of nostalgia for me when this movie came out, because this was one of those movies where Brian and I had a next door neighbor named Jay who was older than both of us. He graduated high school before I started high school, so he had 5 years on me. But because we were neighbors, he was stuck with me. So since he was an only child, Matt Kelly got to be his little brother for a while and do all the little brother things. But he would always go to the movies and he'd be like, yeah, that was really good, or like, ooh, that sucked. You know what I mean? He'd give me those reviews. And sometimes he was right and sometimes he was wrong. He told me that Cable Guy sucked. I totally disagree with that assessment. But he was like, yo, Mars Attacks? He's like, it was pretty good. He's like, it wasn't great. He's like, you're going to be disappointed because you love Michael J. Fox and he's barely in it.
How does anyone know that about you? How is that a personality trait for someone?
You love Michael J. Fox. Everybody knows it. You walk into the room and they're like, there's that guy. He loves Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
He rolled in on his homemade hoverboard and he plugged in his guitar and started playing Johnny B. Good, like all those Fox heads out there.
Anybody who knows me knows I love Michael J. Fox. Believe it or not, I've seen all 6 movies he's in. And
Speaking of his illustrious career at this point, so this came out in 96. When did Frighteners come out?
Frighteners was right before this. This was the last theatrical movie that Michael J. Fox was in.
Oh, okay.
He's been a TV actor ever since, or just
Thanks a lot, fucking
anything.
Burton.
He was like, you'll like it. And I remember watching this when he rented it afterwards when it was on video. He rented it and we went over and I watched it. And I remember the cow scene in the beginning distinctly. And then I remember really getting fucking scared and freaked out by the... I've talked about this before. I don't like swapping of heads on things. Like, that's always made me uncomfortable. So, like, Sarah Jessica Parker, not so much her head on the dog body, but the dog head on her body really just fucked me up. Especially her head in the jar being shown it was just like, I did not like that as a kid. Now as an adult, it's whatever. I like little details. I like that, like, when Pierce Brosnan wakes up and he's just a head. I never noticed this as a kid, but as it pans out, like, his entire body is just, like, sprawled out, hooked up to different machines, and that's how he's alive. Like, his heart is just, like, dangling, beating and shit. Like, there's some fucked up stuff in this movie is what I'm trying to say. But I could see, like, this is one of those movies where I enjoy it. It has that childhood nostalgia, but I also watch it. I'm like, man, if they had gotten to do what they wanted to do with the stop motion, if they had gotten to do, I had read the novelization because I had heard that the novelization was based on the original script, which they were forced to change because it was too graphic. But, like, people are getting, like, sliced in half and, like, heads stomped in the novelization of this.
That
so,
would've
like,
done it
it
for
was
me.
originally written to be, like, an R-rated movie, and then they were like, the fuck you are. It's a PG-13 movie.
And this is the
So,
lightest PG-13 movie that Horror Movie Night has ever touched.
I mean, last week we talked about Nothing But Trouble, which was definitely a PG-13 movie that I thought was R-rated for a really long time.
I mean, there's
I've
a
never
lot
thought
of
that this
dick
was
in that
PG-13.
movie, but it's just because it's a nose prosthetic.
It's mostly on Dan Aykroyd's face. So one of the other things that I learned when I was doing some research on this is and it's kind of funny. Danny DeVito has like top billing in this movie. Like if you look at the poster, he is one of the 6 names on the poster. He's in the movie for 2 minutes. He was a last-second addition to the movie. They actually originally wanted the actor who played Otho in Beetlejuice to play that role, and he couldn't do it because he was making Dunstan checks out, which
checks in. Show that movie some respect.
And I was like, that's got to be like Michael Caine not being able to collect his Oscar because he was on the set of Jaws the Revenge. Like, it's like, I'm sure even if you don't like this movie, Scott, it's got to be insulting to not be in this movie because you're busy making the Monkey Loose in the Hotel with Jason Alexander movie.
You're saying that in a condescending tone, but even you saying that, it sounds like a good movie. Like, I don't understand.
Did you guys notice that Danny DeVito's outfit in this movie is literally his outfit in Romancing the Stone, which would have been like, what, 92 or something like that? And so he basically got off the destination shooting for Nothing But Trouble, and he's like, all right, you fucks, just put me in the movie. I'll wear the same outfit.
To this day, I still like the aliens' first arrival massacre sequence. It's, again, it's
and
super
why is
tame,
Jack
but, like,
Black in this movie? He gets killed immediately.
because no one knew who he was in 1996.
Yeah,
This
is
is
a sequel
5
to
years
Never-Ending
before
Story.
Tenacious D.
But why? Why is he in this? He had probably come off of doing Airborne, which is a baller movie, by the way, and he's great in it.
This would have been right after Cable Guy, which I constantly forget that he's also in.
Well, it's because I haven't seen Cable Guy in 20 movies.
In 20 movies.
Okay, guys, time to edit. Matt,
No.
I can't believe that Jack Black's movie after this was Cable Guy.
Yeah. But no, see, no edit, because that's how Matt should talk to people.
But that's
I
me.
haven't seen that in 20 movies.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. That was 3 movies ago. Yeah, Matt, it was lunch.
I actually did. That's how I think sometimes when it comes to this show.
So one of the other things I want to talk about with this movie is that I do think script-wise, we're going to talk script time with Matt Kelly. I actually think that this movie does a pretty good job, maybe sometimes is almost too on the nose, of setting up like all of the different characters and like what their traits are going to be for the movie. So you have like the kids playing this ridiculous arcade game where it just looks like alien piranhas are eating up a corpse and you just keep shooting at them. You set up that, you're introducing the president, you're introducing Natalie Portman, you're introducing the donut kid, you're introducing the grandmother and her music. Like, they introduce all of the pieces of the puzzle. There's nothing that happens in the third act that's like completely out of left field that like wasn't set up. But
just wait till our next recording. I'm really confused why you could hate this movie, though. I don't understand
Because
loving
it has zero redemptive qualities. Literally nothing about this movie is charming.
No,
you know that all I care about is charming movies.
This movie, the whole, like, from beginning to end of this movie, everyone, I would think it's, like, not subjective. I feel like everyone would leave this movie with the same feeling, which is, well, and then just kind of move on with their day, you know?
I don't get to do that for horror movie night. You know this. I have been doing. I
he
have
sets
to
a
be
high
upset.
bar going in. He's like, all right, it's a horror movie night movie. This needs to knock it out of the park or it can fuck off.
That's exactly me. That's me. Matt has been killing it with his t-shirt ideas. There's another one right there for you. Yes. HMN licensed merchandise right there.
Brian, I have a question for Brian because I don't know the answer to this question.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, was this the movie that started your love affair with Tom Jones?
No.
Okay, because you're like one of the biggest Tom Jones fans I know.
So weird.
Yeah, honestly.
You've seen him live, right?
I've seen him live. I saw him live. I was the only...
Did you go to Vegas and see him live?
No. We went to, like... I don't even think we went to Atlantic City. I think we went to, like, Upper Darby.
I mean, this is a lot more about Tom Jones than it says about you, that he was playing a show in Upper fucking Darby.
And it was, like, really funny because I could tell... like, these women were giving me and my friend's mom these looks like, that is so ridiculous. They're dragging their sons to a Tom Jones concert. And these women had no idea that we were dragging our moms to a Tom Jones concert. Because my mom, like, that's not something where my mom was like, oh, I love Tom Jones and I learned to. There was something about She's a Lady when I was a young kid. And I was like, this is a masterpiece. And then I got his greatest hits, and I'm like, these are all masterpieces.
That greatest hits record has some wild covers. Like Burning Down the House. His cover of Talking Heads Burning Down the House featuring the Cardigans.
Dude,
like,
I will not say that it is better than the original, because I don't want anyone to boycott it.
This.
I will not say it's better than the original. It's better than the original. But Tom Jones's cover of Kiss by Prince is mwah. Mwah.
You listen to that cover so much. When I heard the original by Prince for the first time, I was like, who just fucked up this Tom Jones song?
Yeah.
This song was perfect.
It was like, wow, what a just a beautiful song about wanting to kiss. And then it's like, why is this little girl complaining? Like that's what I heard. Like, that's what I heard when I heard the Prince one.
Yeah, dude, he does that burly voice. He's like, I just want your extra touch and your
kiss. And then it's like, let's listen to the original. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah, you went and saw Tom Jones live. Yeah, some of his covers are better than the originals. But the other Tom Jones thing that I always remember is you being homesick from school and just shooting music videos with Tom Jones songs.
You are the weirdest person I know in the most wholesome way possible.
Dude,
it's so weird.
I mean, I feel bad for my family because I would just film 20 minutes of me lip syncing songs or just, and then after dinner I would make them watch it.
I'm just bummed that the tapes are gone.
Oh yeah, are you bummed? Are you bummed that the tapes are gone? Oh wait, you weren't the one that ruined it. My mom did to film a 3-hour news special to see my. You can send pictures of your kid on your birthday. So my dad's cousin's daughter. It was her birthday, so they taped over my art.
So here's the funny thing is that Megan used to do videos like that all the time too. But, because she's just like a year or two older than Brian, her videos, she found them. And she made me watch them a couple weeks ago. And I'm trying to I don't even know what I was trying to do. Something not that important. I think I might have still been working. It was late in the afternoon or maybe I was trying to work on music. Whatever it was. I was like, okay, honey, I'll watch 5 minutes of you lip syncing to a Backstreet Boys song. So we do that, and then she's like, let's watch more. And so she puts on video, all these, they're on those mini VHS tapes that are half the size.
Did she not know I was coming down soon? Because,
hold on.
Because I'm definitely the person that's like, yeah, let's watch more.
She married the wrong podcast host.
Do you have a VHS player, Scott?
Yeah, of course I got a VCR, bro.
You have a VCR and you have a VHS with... Because I have the raw footage.
We can digitize them.
And
Megan wants to digitize all of her embarrassing shit, too. Yeah, we'll
Brian,
make it happen.
Bacon helped me get that cable to take VHS tapes and rip them into digital files. I think we can save the Tom Jones tapes.
I need Scott's VHS. So Scott's got a VHS that the thing pops up in the middle and you put the... camera.
Yeah, no, I know what he's got. I can buy that on Amazon for $5.
I can buy that on Amazon. Look at me. I own my own house. I have plenty of room. Okay. Buy on Amazon.
This is one of the best episodes where we didn't ever talk about the movie.
We talked about it enough. Stop complaining. Let's talk about double features.
Yeah, double features.
So double features. Matt, you picked this shit. You go ahead.
Double features. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to have two. First is that I'm going to go and play a pinball machine called Attack from Mars, which is a fucking awesome pinball machine that came out at the same time as Mars Attacks. That was just a goofy game where you killed aliens through the pinball machine. But what I'm actually going to watch is the only other horror movie that my boy Michael J. Fox did in 1996, and I'm going to pop on Frighteners.
Nice. Of course. Brian, what do you got for us?
As a surprise to no one, It's Tim Burton.
Don't even say Ed Wood.
I'm putting it on with Ed Wood, dude.
Fine, Ed Wood. All right, Scott.
Just go with Plan 9. I don't know. Anyway, I have 3. I'm gonna go with the first 2 that I came up with. Well, actually, I'm going to go in chronological order. The first thing that came to mind was Deadly Spawn, because that movie's awesome, and it feels like it could exist in the same general universe of aliens coming and killing people, but it's also way better and way more charming. Second, Fido, because Fido is that tongue-in-cheek kind of 50s pastiche, kind of thing. But if I'm with Matt, and he's like, "Hey, Scott, let's watch Mars Attacks." This is exactly what he sounds like in my brain. "Hey, Scott, let's watch Mars Attacks again." And I say, "Okay, as long as you let me pick the one after." We're going to pick Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 70s, because that dog's face on or human face on a dog's body would just be the most painful thing for Matt to watch, and I would make him watch right before bed. And then I would go to sleep and sleep like a baby, and Matt can be up all night just being like, but the faces
The basement's creepy. All right, so thank you for that, Scott. So for the things that I recommend, I'm going to give a shout out to a friend of mine who did a couple things on the podcast in the past. He's got a book out. He's had a book out for a while, but I'm a bad friend and just got around to reading it. Rapper Mega Ran put out a book called The Dream Master, which is his biography / memoir about his experiences growing up in a really bad area of Philly, avoiding getting caught up in the gang and drug scene there, and then spending all of his time playing video games, and that eventually turning into a full-time career where, the child that used to play video games and watch wrestling all day now gets to write rap songs about video games for Nintendo and then go to WWE shows and rap the theme songs for the wrestlers. So it's a real chasing that dream that you had when you were 10 years old and making a reality story. But it's a very, I liked it a lot. Highly recommend it. Raheem's just a good dude. Mega Ran puts out some great music. If you even like a little bit of video game music, what he does with how he creates it. What's kind of cool is that I found out the way that he started making that music, because he created all of his own beats in the beginning, was literally through a PlayStation. There was a PlayStation game that was like PlayStation Beat Maker, and he's like, it allowed you to upload samples. So he's like, I literally had to upload the samples, create the beats, but then the files were too big to export, so I'd have to take the memory cards and find a way to transfer them onto my laptop, and then hook up a CD burner to burn the demos to hand out to people.
So much work, worth it. And I'm not a nerdcore rap guy. I mean, I'm not a rap guy. I really don't enjoy music that kind of builds off of repetition. That's just kind of my thing. But super major props to Mega Ran. I mean, if I had to pick one rapper that's modern rapper, I would probably listen to him, because it does have that overlap with my interests. And so, I mean, and plus, he's just such a good guy,
Brian, how about you? What's something you got to promote?
I can't believe I didn't tell you guys this. This wasn't anything I watched or anything. I just can't believe I didn't tell you guys this. Did I tell you I went to a workshop class that was ran by Max Bemis?
No.
Oh, yeah, right before I moved, a week before I moved.
You're not supposed to meet your heroes, bro.
Dude, it was super cool. It was super fucking cool. I was anxious because it said be here on time, so I was there 15 minutes early.
What was it about?
Creativity. Using your issues, using whether it's past trauma, mental health, whatever it is, using things that are viewed as negative aspects to fuel your creativity. And I was the first person in the group, and he was just like, "Hey, Brian," and I I almost cried. It was just super, super fucking cool. It was super fucking cool. It was one of the coolest fucking things in my life, without a doubt. He is I'll leave it at that. But you bringing up just weird things, weird niches. I thought of me in high school, how everyone loved Taking Back Sunday and Brand New, and I was the one guy that loved Say Anything, and no one else did. And then you grow up and realize everyone really likes Say Anything. I watched Mayor of Easttown. I got 2 episodes left. Everyone should watch it. Get through the first episode. The first episode is what Stranger Things does, where it's hey, we're in the 90s, is what Mayor of Easttown does. It's like, hey, we're in Delco. Like, it's just like a lot of like, yeah, my asshole daughter went to Wawa with her boyfriend. I ain't a Philly fanatic of that guy, I'll tell you that much. But then we got to go down to Ridley and Upper Darby, maybe get a cheesesteak. I don't know, go Birds. And it's just like, okay, we get it. We know where you are. I grew up here. We get it. We get it.
I want to give a quick little shout out, not because it's a good movie, but rather because the fact that the writer-director got to make 3 of them with practical and special effects is just a Hollywood love story, bro. Skylines. So Skylines, the second, Skylines with a 3 as the E. So it's the end of the Skyline trilogy. Now, no one, and I don't even think the writer-director, has suggested that these movies are good. But I think that it's just incredible that he got all 3 made. And I'm sure that he at least turned a bit of a profit, you know? I mean, and I love the fact that when they do the outro credits, they show bloopers. It's not even like you have to, because I watched them on Netflix. You know, you don't even have to buy the DVD or watch it on some obscure streaming service to get those outtakes and those bloopers, because it's hilarious. The aliens, if anybody listening doesn't know, the aliens are supposed to be like 8 feet tall, and so people are on stilts in costumes, and then they sheathe them in some CGI to make them correct. But it's hilarious to watch the bloopers when people are like on wires or trying to fight a stunt guy wearing stilts, or they're just laughing, and you get to see the green screens and all this stuff. I mean, they're not good movies. They're not trying to be good movies, right? They're trying to be really over the top sci-fi, and they succeed. And I think that knowing that they don't take themselves super seriously, even though the movies are very kind of overwrought in their action adventure kind of side, like quest type feel, knowing that the actual concept of the movies is a bit lighthearted and the action on set is quite lighthearted, really endears them to me, because they're dumb fucking movies. But yeah, I would recommend you watch them if you want to turn your brain off. You know,
and I'll
the
throw
fact
this
that
out
the guy
there.
made 3 of them, he got to make his trilogy.
I'll throw this out there too. If you are interested in the Skyline movies, episode 579 of Geekscape, Jonathan sat down and talked to the director of parts 2 and 3 and just broke down his love of sci-fi, why he enjoys making those movies, why he wanted to integrate martial arts films into alien fights. So, yeah, good stuff. And also good stuff involving aliens, Mars Attacks, this week's pick from 1996. Tune in next week when we see what great movie Scott picked. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a good one.
You're welcome.
So tune in next week.
Everybody's going to love me so much more because of how bad your pick was this week, shit.
I think that you're going to be on the hot seat when the audience reacts to this episode.
No.
I think you're...
I have never been so confident in my life. Never.
Oh, I can't wait I'm bumping this episode up. All right, guys, go and hit up the Patreon, patreon.com/HMM podcast, and stay tuned for more Horror Movie Night.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.